You've got a question. Simple enough, except now you have three places to ask it. ChatGPT with Search, Perplexity, and Google's AI mode. And they are not the same tool wearing different hats. This matters more than it used to. By early 2026. More than 40% of Americans were using at least one AI search tool every week, and not for trivia, for health symptoms, financial decisions, legal situations. A hallucinated answer in those conversations isn't a minor annoyance. It's a real problem. So I ran the same 10 questions through all three. Fresh news, product research, how-to guides, local stuff, a health question, coding documentation, and one piece of trivia so obscure it should be illegal. What I found isn't one winner. It's three different machines with three different failure modes, and one routing rule for each. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which door to knock on for which question. First, you need to understand what each engine actually is, because that single fact explains almost everything else. Quick architecture lesson, 60 seconds, I promise, and it explains everything. Perplexity is search first. Every single query goes out to the live web, and every answer comes back with numbered citations you can click. It is built to ground answers in retrieved documents, which is why it rarely invents sources. ChatGPT Search is reasoning first. Under the hood, it's one of the most powerful models on the planet, with web retrieval bolted on, and that's the key phrase. Sometimes it searches, sometimes it answers from memory, and when it fills gaps with plausible-sounding details instead of admitting uncertainty, you get its biggest weakness, confident hallucination. Google AI mode is the index advantage. It sits on top of the most comprehensive map of the web ever built, plus the knowledge graph, unmatched for anything that's heavily indexed: news, local, shopping. Where it's weaker is synthesis, stitching many sources into one nuanced answer. Search engine with a brain with a search button, index with an AI on top. Now the tests.
Test 1, fresh news. I asked all three about a story that broke that week. Google AI mode nailed it. Freshest results, correct dates, direct summaries from outlets that published hours earlier. Its index updates constantly and it shows. Perplexity was right behind, slightly less raw fresh but a better synthesized explainer. Here's what happened, here's the context, here's who's involved, with 10+ citations including official sources. ChatGPT Search was the gamble. When it chose to search, great. When it didn't, you got a confident summary of a stale memory, and nothing on the screen told you which one just happened. The fix: put the date in your prompt. As of this week or in the last 48 hours forces a live search, but needing a secret handshake to get reliable news is a real cost.
Test 2, buying decisions. Question: which should I get, Model O or Model B, for a specific use case? Perplexity ran away with this one. It pulled comparison articles, pulled Reddit threads with genuine owner feedback, current pricing, known complaints, synthesized into one answer with every claim linked. Reddit citations are a genuinely killer feature for product research, because owners are more honest than marketing pages. Google AI mode was the surprise runner-up for a different part of the job: actual shopping logistics, prices, availability, nearby stores. Its merchant index is unmatched. ChatGPT Search produced the most intelligent-sounding analysis of the trade-offs, and then confidently cited a specification that was 2 product generations old. Reasoning engines love to analyze. They just don't always check the calendar first. Split the job. Perplexity picks the product, Google finds it, ChatGPT explains the tech if you verify.
Tests 3 and 4, how to questions and local questions. How to, like fixing an error message or learning a technique, was the closest to a 3-way tie. All three returned workable step-by-step answers. ChatGPT gets the edge for conversation. It remembers what you're trying to do, so when step 4 doesn't work, you say that failed, and it adapts the plan, a debugging partner, not a page. That follow-up memory is the most underrated feature in this whole comparison. The other two mostly treat each question as a fresh start. Perplexity wins when you want the authoritative source attached, and forums often hold the real fix for weird error codes. Google AI mode helpfully links the top tutorial, which is fine until the tutorial is 6 years old, so check the date. Local questions, open now, near me, hours, directions, wasn't a contest. It's not that the other two are bad, they simply can't see where you are. Google's maps and business data is a moat nobody crosses. Anything with near me in it goes to Google, full stop.
Test 5, the careful one, health questions. I asked each engine a genuine common medical question, nothing exotic, the kind of thing people actually type at midnight. The differences were stark. Perplexity answered with citations to actual medical sources, clinics, health services, journals, so I could judge the credibility of every claim myself, and its follow-up suggestions pushed toward professional care rather than deeper rabbit holes. ChatGPT was appropriately cautious, thick with disclaimers and genuinely good on when should I see someone, but its guidance floats unanchored. No links to weigh, so you're trusting the model's memory of medicine. That's a lot of trust. Google AI mode surfaced respectable health organizations but wrapped them in the general search experience, ads included, and an ad for a supplement clinic next to a symptom answer is not a great look. The golden rule for anything high stakes, health, legal money. Default to whichever tool puts citations in front of you, read them yourself, and treat all of it as preparation for a conversation with a qualified human. These engines are study partners, not doctors. None of them are your doctor.
Tests 6 and 7, coding, documentation, and obscure trivia. Coding, library docs churn, functions get renamed, arguments deprecated, so an engine quoting docs from memory is quoting last year's manual. Perplexity consistently linked to the current documentation page, and seeing the doc version in the citation is a quiet superpower. ChatGPT wrote the most elegant code sample for an API version that was deprecated. Classic reasoning engine trap, the code looked so right. Google AI mode surfaced the official docs reliably but explained them less. Final test, obscure trivia, a question so specific almost nothing has been written about it. This category humbles everyone. Perplexity at least showed its work. Here are the 3 tangential sources I found. Here's my best inference. ChatGPT produced a beautifully confident, completely uncited answer, the most dangerous sentence in AI. Google fell back to the closest indexed pages. Lesson: the more obscure the question, the more you need visible sources, and the less any engine should be trusted bare.
Here's the whole video on one slide. Fresh news, Google AI mode. Product picks, Perplexity owner threads beat marketing pages. Anything near me or buying logistics. Google how to and debugging. ChatGPT because it remembers what you're trying to do. Health, legal, money, whichever engine gives you citations, read them and then talk to a real professional. Coding, docs, Perplexity, current documentation with visible versions. Obscure trivia, whoever shows their sources and verify regardless. And when you're honestly not sure which door to knock on, default to citations, Perplexity's ground rule, because a linked source is the only thing that lets you check the machine's homework.
If this routing guide saved you from a confident hallucination, subscribing is one click, and it decides whether we can keep making deep tests like this one. And I'm genuinely curious, drop your routing in the comments. Which engine earned the default slot on your phone, and which one burned you? New AI comparisons every week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.